that the Monday night game is the game that everyone is looking forward to. The Monday night game is the one that everyone is licking their chops at. 3.5 right now. The Ravens favored against the Chiefs. And guys, I'll just go ahead and say right out of the gate here, I am on the Ravens in this game. I think that the Chiefs are going to draw a lot of money and a lot of attention in this game because it's the Chiefs. It's the returning Super Bowl champions. It's them getting the 3 and a hook. But I mean, if you dig into what we've seen so far from this Chiefs offense, it has been less than spectacular. It has certainly been underwhelming. And a lot of that has to do, and don't get me wrong, I think that the guy is certainly phenomenal, but Patrick Mahomes has missed a lot of open throws, and he has tried to make some throws where he could have set his feet that he didn't. If you kind of rewatch these games, I'm not going to the whole thing. He's buying into his own hype, or I'm not talking bad about Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying sometimes fundamentals get away from you when you are as talented a guy as Mahomes is, because you can do things other people can't. And he's missed some pretty easy throws. He's thrown some stuff behind guys that he could correct that all this week. Maybe he does. But when you look at what this Ravens team brings to the table here with Lamar Jackson, it looks like they're just firing on all cylinders. Like they did not miss a beat from last season. I actually, in my power rankings, had them as the best team in the NFL last year over this Chiefs team. And that loss to the Titans still just kind of blows my mind here. But Brett, I don't know. I'm actually pretty excited to bet the Ravens and to have them in the account here. And again, I think a lot of people are going to be on the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah, it's tough. You would think the Ravens would be able to run all over the Chiefs here, but you also know that Andy Reid has had this one circled for months. Mm-hmm. There's a game plan specific to Lamar Jackson that the Chiefs will deploy in this game. And I don't want to read too much into the run defense metrics for KC from last year and early in the season, because it's going to be completely different. They're going to game plan for Jackson in this game. So, but
it hadn't been good, is what you're trying to say. Yeah, like if we want to say,
it hasn't.
I mean, but it's worth pointing out, right? They are going to scheme, they are going to whatever. However, the Achilles heel of this team last year was the run defense, and the Achilles heel of the team so far this year has been the run defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to sit back and watch this one from the sidelines, and when these two teams meet in January, we'll have another game sample to look at and analyze, but I don't want to pretend like I know what these two coaching legends are going to do in this one. I know my limitations, so this will be more of a learning experience for me.
All right, Brad, there's threes out there. There's 3.5. There's 3.5s out there. The lone 3 is heavily juiced at FanDuel, minus 135 on the Ravens if you wanted that. Total 52.5-ish out there. Do you have a position on this thing?
I did have a small bet on the Chiefs plus 3.5. So again, this is a pre-season. I asked a few people who would you have favourite on a neutral field, and it was unanimous Chiefs by 1 or so. And it seems to me that this has moved entirely off the Chiefs game last week, where obviously that they looked excellent in the opener, but last week they looked sloppy essentially. But this, they said in that broadcast how well the Chargers were set up, or what they thought they were, how well they're set up to just play these Chiefs. They can rush you with just the bookend passes, rush you with 4, and then they play cover 3 behind it, keep everything in front of you, and just tackle, and they tackle well. Well, the Ravens play almost like the inverse style to that. They blitz 6 and they want to play man against you. And I wonder, they obviously they have the personnel for that, but do they have the personnel to match up with Tyreek, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson? Those are probably the hardest receivers to cover man on man in the league, and there's a reason why you want to play cover 3, because you don't want to match up to the man to man. So I wonder if that could be a little bit more favourable for them. And pass rush wise, it's interesting because the Chiefs, the offensive line has not been good. Part of it, I think, is because of that Chargers game. So that would be my concern. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is suddenly bad. He is probably the best player in the league. I thought it was interesting. 6 games as an underdog. He's 5-0-1, so he's never not. He's never failed to cover, or he's never lost money. So I do also agree that they will have circled this game because the number 1 seed is so important. And we spoke last week about how it seemed quite conservative the way they were playing. They're not throwing deep. They're running the ball a lot. Now that could have been, they could be not throwing deep because they don't trust the offensive line. I'm not sure. So that that's why I wouldn't have a huge play here. But also on the Ravens side of the ball, they're 24th in offensive success rate, which is not Ravens-like to me. I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's just because they have been so comfortable.
Yeah.
They smashed both teams. So, yeah, I think it's just too much of an adjustment from where we were pre-season off relatively limited sample size where the Chiefs may not have been playing their best stuff. So I'm happy to get the hook here. I wouldn't play it at 3.
Yeah, the total is pretty much right on for me. I don't have any sort of play when I've run this, different scenarios here. It always kind of falls within that 2 to 3 point window, something like that. So I don't think that there's an edge to be had in that one at all. But guys, hopefully we have another good and profitable week this week. Hopefully we bounce back, talking to Mr. Colson over there. Hopefully we bounce back and come back off the schneid and we're able to come here in week 4 and give you guys some good picks as well. So as always, head over to thelines.com. Be sure and check out all the breakdowns and everything over there. And if you need an account whatever state that you're located in, head over there, because we cannot stress enough having multiple accounts, how it can help you out. Because we picked lines and totals and things on this podcast from several different sites right here. So be sure and get the best number and the best line that's out there. For Brett, for Brad, I'm Matt. Talk to you guys next week.